Hello there, I'm Eric Reno and this is my entry to Deke's Techniques, the challenge. Now, it's probably apparent to you that I'm not a graphic designer, nor am I a digital artist. That's pretty much apparent from what you can see in front of you, but I am a lover of Photoshop and having a good old mess around. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to talk quickly because I've tried and tried and tried again to get this done in 10 minutes and I've failed every time. Let's see if we can do it this time. I'm going to get the content aware move tool straight away and get this tree out of the way. New in CS6. There we go. That's got that going. My poor old computer. This is why it takes so long. My poor computer. It struggles. There we go. Control D to deselect. Now I want to add a wood handle to my barbecue. That's Deke's Techniques number 37. I've got an action for that. Here we go. Deke's wood grain. Press play. Off it goes. Does everything I want it to do. And there we have it. So I'm going to get the move tool. Bring it over. Drop it down. Now I need that up a bit above the lid. There we go. And I'll control T and then I can drop that down to whereabouts I want it. Then Shift and Alt. Shift to constrain. Alt to transform from the center. There we go. Now I'm going to add a quick bevel and emboss on that. Bevel and emboss. And then a little drop shadow. Good. Maybe a little bit more than that. Okay, good. I'm done. I'm going to press Z and I'm going to zoom in to there. And then I'm going to create a new layer, but I'm going to drag it above this group. And I'm going to use my marquee just to draw with. It's what I find easiest to draw with, strange enough. And I'm going to just make a couple of little bits for the handle. There we go. Fill those with white. Control and backspace because white's my background color. I'm going to use a style here, oak it's called, to fill that in. Control D to deselect. Let's add a bevel and emboss to that just so it matches in. Click OK. Then I'm going to press Control and Alt. I get double arrow. I can start moving that across. Press Shift. I've let go of Control and Alt. Press Shift now to constrain it into a straight line and I can drop it down. There we go. I'm done with that. Control 0 will bring us back out. Now I want to add some smoke. I've gone over to my favorite stock image site. I found some smoke. I'm actually on another screen at the moment and I'm copying that, coming back into Photoshop and I'm pasting it down. There it is. I'm going to put that into multiply mode and press Control T. Control 0 will fit everything on screen again. There we go. That's looking nice. Let's bring that down and then we can pop that just about there. Let's give it a bit more. Lovely. Okay, now click the tick. Then I want to bring that down underneath the lid just like that. Still not looking very nice. Let's add a quick mask. Get rid of these bits that are a bit errant. Lovely. Good. But we also need to add a hue saturation, colorize it because red is not a good color for a barbecue at all. Okay, let's clip that to the underlying layer. This icon new in CS6. That's looking nice. Let's desaturate it just a little bit more, maybe even lighten it a bit just so it's not quite so heavy. Good. Now we need to add some text to that. Smoky text. That's Deke Technique 118. I have another action for that. Smoke text. There we go. Off it goes. Does all its bits. This time it stops. Lets me find one that I like. There we go. That'll do me. Okay. No time to mess around. Double click in that. It tells me you might not get some shenanigans there, Eric. It's a smart object. That's okay. I'm going to double click it. Invitation. Okay. Double click it again. So I highlight it all. Then I can give that 28 points. I know that will fit on. Like I say, I've done this umpteen times already. Close it. It says save it. Yes, thank you very much. It updates my smart object. I can then drag that across, pop it on. It's not going to be the right size. I'm going to Control T. Shenanigans, Eric. You're not going to see the shenanigans, it says. That's okay. I'm happy. Pop that in, click the tick, and away it goes. I can always come back and fiddle about with that later. Control 0 fits everything back on the screen. Now I need that starburst. Rays of light it's called. It's Deke's Technique number 84. And yep, you guessed it, I've got an action for it. Off it goes, does all the bits and bobs it needs to do. I can then go and grab this as a group. It's two smart objects. You never know, might want to change one later on. Let's go back to our main image, drop that on. There we go, we're all ready for the next bit. Okay, let's take that up actually outside of the barbecue layer. I think would be better housekeeping, wouldn't it? Okay, Let's just close these down a bit. Nice. Okay, that's better. Now we need to add that BBQ right here. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to open another image, which I've got open on another screen. So I'm just going to go and open lots of daisies. That should pop up in just a second. There it is. My poor computer doesn't automatically go to the right one at the moment. Okay, now I've got BBQ written here. I've got a load of daisies. It was one picture of a daisy which I duplicated over and over again. When I got 7, I then copied those, dumped those 7. Then I got 14. I copied all 14, dumped them. I got 28. I copied 28, dumped them. I got 56, and so on. I did it 24 times. Okay, BBQ. I'm going to go Control and click on the T there. Then I can turn off the text layer. Go on to my daisies layer there and I add a mask. If this looks familiar, that's because it's leafy text. It's Deke's Techniques 115. Okay, let's double click that and then click on the mask edge. Now, I know my settings already. Like I say, I've done this too many times. Contrast is the next one I want to change, 20%. Shift edges, I don't want to do. Now, unlike Deke, I'm quite happy with a bit of feathering to this because my petals are nice and soft. His leaves had hard edges. I'm going to click OK. I'm happy with that, but then I'm going to make it, when my poor computer catches up with me, into a smart object by right clicking on this layer and choosing Smart Object, or Create Smart Object from the menu. Come on baby, you can do it. There you go. Right, convert to Smart Object. It's a smart object now, which means I can go Control A to select all, Control C to copy. I'm going to go back to my main image and I'm going to go to a new layer and I'm going to go Filter and Vanishing Point, and then I've created a plane already on that hill there that matches, I think, roughly about how it looks, and that means then I can go Control V to paste, and that's going to paste down the BBQ. There we go. Control T to make it smaller. It's always much smaller when you need it. Okay, let's go in there. There it is. Now, I'm not going to hold down Shift this time. I'm actually going to make it fill there. Good. Click OK. And there it is. Let's add a drop shadow to that. A bit of a bigger drop shadow this time, I think. Maybe 10 pixels. Make them really stand up. And again, we don't want to use that global light. Really wish I'd got 90 to start with, to be honest with you. There we go. That's looking much better. If I turn on and off, that makes them stand out a bit better. Now, I'll be honest with you. I wanted them to look like they're daisies, but I so tightly packed them together it rather lost its edge, but that's okay because what I did then was I started messing around with the blend modes and I found if I came up to linear burn I got this quite nice effect, and even better if I went to color burn. That's nice. If I change the fill opacity to about 70%, that looks pretty cool. Okay, now I can go back and I can change anything I like because it's all smart objects and all that kind of stuff, and I can tweak it as much as I like, but I wanted to rush through it. There we are, just over 8 minutes. That's my record. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Eric Verno. Bye bye for now.